starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Hey everyone, this is your girl, SC Bookgal 843, Patrice Grimble, and it is another Tuesday night. And oh my God, what can I say? We got another offer here for you. Okay? Now, tonight is a little special because in the month of all of our shows are dedicated to the men. Okay? It's all about the guys. Female, you got to take a back seat on this one, okay? So, I have the honor of having a wonderful author with me. And just in the past 30 minutes, he has been such a piece of my heart. But I'll let him explain to you why and how we have this like crazy connection. But it is an honor for me to bring up Mr. Juan Diaz. So it seems like we might have a little bit. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Mr. Juan, how are you?
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, I'm an author of at least 5 urban fiction books. I've started writing urban fiction at the age of 12. My my favorite urban fiction writer is Quan. He goes by Quan Fourier, and he inspired me to read and write urban fiction. And I also like what's that author's name? Donald Goines, the godfather of urban fiction. I love Donald Goines, man. That dude was hot, but
Oh,
he was great. He was great. He was a heartless, but he was great.
it's crazy because I didn't read Donald Goines till about, I want to say, maybe 5, 10 years ago. And when I read
Well,
it, I was like, I see why people have been hiding this book. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God. So, and Quan, what you know about Quan?
I had the chance to speak to him on Facebook one time. Yo, I almost went ape shit, yo, for real. Oh my god.
So why urban lit, Mr. Juan?
Well,
Why did you want to start to write urban lit?
well, okay. In no way, shape, or form am I, into the streets like that. I'm disabled and all that, so ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be in the streets. But I loved, um, gangster movies like Carlito's Way, Scarface, State Property, all that stuff. So when I got into Quan's books when I was in high school, I said, you know what? No disrespect to Quan, but I could do something a lot better than Quan. No disrespect to him, but that's what I thought at the time.
Now, what you know about? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Off subject: state property one or state property two?
State Property too.
No, I couldn't get in the two.
No, no. The reason why I like to, you're gonna laugh about this. Um, when Beanie Siegel is discussing something about a Puerto Rican gang member, and I'm Puerto Rican by the way, and
Hmm.
he says to that to his associate, I don't like the way that Guala Guala looks at me. I just want to diagnose.
Throughout the whole movie, that's all he kept on calling him was the Guala Guala. Oh my goodness. See, me and you gonna have to hang out one day. I
That's
see
all.
this.
That's all he. Every time when you mentioned the Puerto Ricans, it was the Guala Gualas.
So I understand you have a disability. Does that ever interfere with your writing?
Um, yes and no, because I can't type fast, so I
Hmm.
type with index finger.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
with my right index finger. Nowadays, I usually write on my phone because I have the Google app Docs, and it makes it a lot easier to just write on my phone and take it with me everywhere I go.
Oh my goodness. Now look at Google Top what they're trying to do some work. Okay, I can see that. Does it seem to does it seem to take longer when you're using that process, or it's just you're just barreling away through it?
Okay, this is weird because it's a blessing to me because since I write with one finger, my thoughts I can process my thoughts a lot more clearer.
Oh,
Uh, that might sound odd.
that is crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. But I can see because you're not using, I can see how it's happening and everything is being zoned into. I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. So, where do you get your inspiration from when you're writing your books? Is this like every day or you're looking at a situation, television? Like, where are you getting your thought and ideas for your books?
Well, I usually have a vivid and kind of nasty imagination, and by nasty, I mean I'm a guy, so you know, take
Okay.
that as you will. But I do have a vivid imagination, and um, I'll tell you one thing. I use my disability as an inspiration to one of my stories. It's called Sins of the Father,
Okay.
and it's about a man whose son um they went to do a hit on his family, and he has an infant son, and the people that were gonna do a hit, they accidentally shoot his baby boy, and his baby boy has a bullet in his head. So his baby boy has cerebral palsy like me.
Mhm.
So 17 years later, the the son who's in a wheelchair, he gets involved with this group of people, and they want to sell drugs within the school, but they can't because they got metal detectors. Now, when you're disabled, you can bypass those metal detectors. So they use him to transport drugs within the school system.
Ooh, and that just popped in my mind when you said, and what's the title of that book again?
Well, it's a short story. It's called. Well, at first it was published as Little Man. It's published under this short story compilation called West Side Wilmington Chronicles.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna have to get that from you because that's creative. That's mad creative right there. So you're gonna have to inbox me on how I can get that right there. So
Well, it's on Amazon.
is
It's
on
a very, yeah. Uh,
okay. So I see that you have this book. Is it in the one that says Wild, the Wild West?
no, 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 it's not in that one. It's in the one that says West Side Wilmington Chronicles.
Well, Y'all know I write down the book in a heartbeat. Y'all already know. So y'all, I hope y'all have y'all pen and pencils too, and paper, and writing down the title. If not, catch the replay. Catch the replay. So, how do you feel about being a male author in the urban lit scene? Because I'm seeing that the urban lit scene is now becoming a female dominated genre. So, how do you feel as being a male author? And if we could take it even a step further, an author with a disability.
Okay, that's a great question. Well, I feel that men have lots to offer within the genre, especially men who, unlike me, have experienced, you know, the stuff that they write about, you know. But you know, suffice it to say, I like the females writers better than the male writers because the females they really get into their feelings when they write the urban fiction. They really get into their feelings, and so the reason why I like that is because as a man, I learn more about women through these books. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I know it
So
sounds, I know it sounds corny, but that's how I feel.
it doesn't sound corny. It makes plenty of sense. It makes plenty of sense. So again, how does having your disability help with your storylines?
Well,
Because a lot of people when they do urban lit, they're like literally um it's a world of fantasy for about 30 to 45% of the authors because none of them have ever done anything like that before.
yeah, like myself, yeah.
But they seem to be the most authentic with it. So, I mean, authentic as in, wow, I can literally see this happen. So, how does that work with you?
Well, what it works for me is it's weird because I hardly write about disabled people. It's that one story that I told you about is the only time that I wrote about disabled people. But see, when people see me face to face, they be like, "Nigga, you wrote this." Excuse my friend. I was
Okay.
like, "Yeah, I wrote that. Yeah." And get this right, since I read a lot of women authors, and I tend to write like women authors, and people think I'm a woman when they read my books.
So, how do you, I mean, how do you respond to that?
I don't know, but I had this one reader hitting on me hard. I said, "Dude, no disrespect, I'm not gay, you know. Um, I'm a man." He said, "Prove it." I was like, "Dude, I ain't showing you no dick pics, you know."
Oh God. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what why do they feel like you're a female when you're writing? Like I never knew there was a way that a female writes from what a man writes. I'm gonna have to start paying attention to that when I read, but why do they feel like you're a female writer?
And okay, within urban fiction, women writers, they tend to be more descriptive and when it comes to the emotional part.
Oh, you know what? You're right. We
You
we
know,
you're right.
that's why I love reading women writers because they have great description. Girl, especially when it comes to the sex scene. Go, oh no, yeah.
Okay. So it looks like you're a big fan of erotica. Who is your favorite author in that genre?
Crystal Davis.
I have
Oh,
never heard. You got to
you
tell me
never.
about her.
Oh, that's my homegirl. Let me see if I can find one of her books.
Okay.
Hold on, Derek. Can you hand me one of the book um with the girl on the cover? I mean, not with the girl, with the dude on the cover. The blue book.
He sounds like one of my patrons that come in the library. They always say, "You got that blue book with the girl on the cover," and y'all should see the look I give. Like, huh? What blue book with the girl on the cover?
Nah, it's good. So, so my favorite erotica writer is Crystal Davis. You know, she's fairly new. She co-writes with this guy named R. Coxton, and this book is
Okay.
A Thug Millionaire's Weakness, a fictitious romance. Great book.
Okay. A thug millionaire's
Weakness.
weakness. I don't know why y'all acting like y'all ain't gonna see me writing this name. I don't. Come on now. Y'all know me. If y'all could only know how many notebooks I have full of books to be read. Like, it's crazy. So let's talk about authors. If you can co-write a book with an author, who would it be and why?
Who would it be and why? Hmm. I think I had to go with my homegirl Crystal Davis because
Okay.
man, her writing style is too deep, and like I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. So Phil Davis for a female author. What about a male author? Who would it be?
Jaquavis,
Ah,
Coleman,
why? I got you. That's the one of the most popular ones that are out here now. Why do you choose him?
because okay, there's a difference between an urban writer and an urban writer that goes into the realm of literature. What I mean is that you know, an urban writer just tells a story. Okay, this cat, Jaquavis Coleman, he turns it into poetry. He is literally the James Baldwin of urban fiction.
Oh, wow, you give him that title?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's how powerful he is.
Well, you know what? I would have to admit he has to be. Reason being is we can't keep his books on the shelf.
You,
Him or his wife. We
nah,
can't keep you on the shelf.
and you could tell, that, and I'm not trying to be snooty, but you could tell when an urban fiction writer is educated and when he or she is not educated by the words and descriptions they use. Like, you know, with Jack Quavis, you know, it's no contest. This man should be studied in schools. You feel me? That's how good he is.
Okay. Oh, okay. And I can see because there was once, well, for all of this going on, there were colleges that would have a class. This was just about urban lit or what they call street lit. And that's when street lit first came out because when street lit first came out, it came like a rushing wind because you had Triple Crown, you had um, the Deja series, you had the Blooper series for the teens. So when Urban Lit came, it came rushing. Okay. And now urban lit is, I would say, a common genre, but it's not a forsaken genre like it was. So a lot of people will they don't have the classes, but don't get me wrong, there are plenty of professors and plenty of colleges that have that one class that is dedicated to treatment. So y'all might want to find one. But yes, there are. Um, so tell us a little bit about the West Side, stories from the West Side relative. Tell us a little bit about that book.
Well, um, the reason why it's called Wild West Stories of West Side Women is because I grew up in that city, and it is considered a ghetto where it's mostly African American and Latino, primarily because I'm Puerto Rican. You know, my main characters are Puerto Rican, but they they're mostly Puerto Rican and black, right? So I hardly if ever have white people. No offense, I don't have white people in my stories because that's not what I saw growing up. I only saw white people when I went to school, you
Okay.
know, and on
So
TV.
you
You
so you
feel
write
me?
it with your name.
Right. So, um, I had this character named Sammy Ortega, who's a hitman, and I write stories about him. And he has, okay, this dude is very dark, but he's also very sensitive because
Okay.
he has this great love named Shayla, and he will go through heaven and earth to you know make sure she's okay. And so, um, I have um I put little hidden messages in my stories, starting with the names. Like Shayla is, you know, it means heavenly sanctuary in Hebrew. So he goes to her whenever he needs his darkness taken care of, whether it's sexually or otherwise. You feel me? That's why her
Okay.
name is Shayla.
What made you come up with that crazy idea to put little secrets inside of your book?
Um, I am an avid reader, and I read a lot of Ernest Hemingway as well. Um, and he has what you call the iceberg theory. And I say, you know what? I'm gonna put that in my books and see if people figure it out. See, Shayla, she lives in a house that was converted, that was once a church. Okay, so since her name symbolizes heavenly sanctuary, it's only right that she lives in the church. And Sammy, I came up with his name because the son of Sam. And in our society, if you look at the son of Sam, that has evil connotations. So in part, he's evil. Like, you know what I mean?
So you put some thought behind these characters. I see.
Yes, yes. Um,
Well,
you feel me? It's all in the book. Like I tried to keep it a secret, but some people figured that shit out real quick.
oh, wow.
Mhm.
Since you put so much thought into your characters, we have this thing on my show where we have our fun questions. I never tell my authors about the fun questions because these are the ones that are going to make you think. So, your character, Samuel, if he can be any hip hop artist, who would he be and why did you choose them? Now, I'm going to tell you who I'm thinking off the top of my head. I'm thinking DMX.
Nice. It'd be nice because my character Sammy, he,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he is very introspective, and he loves to read. The character Sammy loves to read. He's very educated.
Okay.
He writes poetry, and you'll see that in the book. Well, actually, it's my poetry, but you know, my character Sammy writes poetry, and he's very educated, even though he's hood.
So, who would you choose as a hip hop artist? If somebody was making a movie about your book, who would you choose as a hip hop artist to play?
Well, okay, because my books. Okay, here's one thing. I don't mean to get off topic. My books
No, it's
take
okay.
my books take place in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. This
Ooh,
book,
good with you.
Sammy's, takes place in the 90s, and I would choose Nas to play Sammy.
Nas. Everybody's liking Nas lately.
Nas is a deep dude. He's like, I don't mean to be too deep, like, but I've been through some stuff. Like, because of my disability, I had to educate myself. And so,
Yes.
by educating myself, I read a lot because I didn't want people to see me as disabled. So, I had to read a lot. And when I express myself in a different way. And I always thought maybe if I educate myself, maybe people won't see my disability.
You know what? I love that. I can see that. I love that. So let's go to her name was Shayla, correct?
Say like that.
Who would play Shayla?
Oh my god, I gotta tell you something. Um,
Oh,
that's hard. That's hard because Shayla is an amalgamation of all the females I've dated, and forgive me for saying female because I know that's a hot button issue, but she's an amalgamation of all the women I dated, and it's kind of hard, you know.
it's kind of right.
Nah, it's kind of hard because it's weird because I don't want to say Jennifer Lopez because that'd be the first person that Cass would pick, but because she's Latina,
Uh-huh.
and man, this is hard. This is very hard.
That's why I don't give you these questions. I like y'all to think on your feet.
I
Okay,
know, I know.
so we'll take Jennifer Lopez because she's Latina, but would you want to mix it with somebody else?
Sule Hanoa. It's the girl that came out in Fighting with Shannon Tatum, that little Spanish chick.
Oh, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. Oh,
The girl that came out in the Field of Noise with Omarion.
you guys, I can't remember the name.
Nah, cause
He was stumped.
she don't come out no more. She was big in like the early 2000s.
I'm looking right at it. I'm looking right at it. When I find a name, I'm gonna post it on my Facebook page, and y'all be like, "Oh yeah, we have." So before we close out, how can we follow you, grab your books? What can we look forward from you? Go ahead and give us the rundown.
Man, well, you can follow me at in IG at Juan CDS 3585, and that's my IG, and my Facebook is Juan Diaz. But that'll be kind of hard because my name is like a Smith in the Spanish community. So you know, it is true. It's true. Um, on my Twitter account is Tears of War Diaz. Um, I need to tell you what I'm doing currently. I'm writing a because people always ask me what was Shayla doing while Sammy was in prison for 27 years. So I didn't know at the time, but now I know. So that's going down.
Okay.
You know, it's a book titled The Glaring, which the Glaring is a group of cats. So she was a group of women that were cat burglars. Okay, they did some crazy shit, and they wrote Kawasaki's and everything. Man, I'm like these chicks were ruthless, heartless chicks, and it's called The Glaring. Look out for that,
And when are you going to be releasing this one?
huh?
When will
2020,
you be releasing?
2026. It's the story of Shayla and her group called the Glaring. Because, see, people say, readers say, well, she was too submissive. Okay, but nah, man, like, you didn't know what she had to go through when he was in prison for 27 years.
Well, there you have it. We got a new book coming out in 2026. Y'all can go grab The Wild West that is, and his other books that are on Amazon. And I appreciate you being here with me tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. You know, I only bring some great authors. So this is another one that you can go ahead and add to that to be read list. I know I'm making that list long, but guess what? I got something coming out for you guys. Check my face tomorrow, okay? It's going to be our annual summer reading challenge, okay? Check it out. I have some books on there that you might need to grab, or it might have some things to do about this show, okay? Thank you again, Mr. Juan, for being with us tonight and giving me this wonderful honor of interviewing you. Okay?
No, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Well, you guys, it's another Tuesday night. Catch me next week, Tuesday. I think I'll be doing you guys. We're going to interrupt the fellas for a little while, but I'm going to bring you some books that bring out the music. We might just talk about music next Tuesday. Remember, you guys, no book is an old book because not everybody has read every. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Peace. So yeah, that was fun. Hello?